Hello everyone, and welcome to one of the Digital Transformations Live Series episodes. I'm Ali Soufastai, an AI program leader in Valley. Our live interviews have been designed to develop the knowledge of applied data science and advanced analytics in different industries aimed to touch Industry 4.0. These live sessions are held every Friday with the presence of one of the university professors, industrial managers, and experts in the field of Industry 4.0 and digital transformation. Today, we will discuss the role of digital transformation in industrial marketing and communication improvement. And this is my honor to talk with my guest, Dr. Simona Marginean. Dr. Marginean is a marketing and communication leader with more than 15 years of international experience in our 10 industries, serving B2B and B2C companies and developing top-touch marketing strategies to drive customer acquisition, brand awareness, and loyalty. Simona has a doctorate in marketing strategy, academic background teaching marketing and PR courses, and is a published author of marketing research. Welcome, Simona, and thanks for accepting my invitation to be with us today.
Hello, Ali. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure to explore actually how marketing and technology come together to shape this bright new world.
Thanks, Simona. So let's just start. As a first question that I have for you today, what's the story that led you to your current role? Actually, what's your background?
I am a marketing professional. I live in Toronto, Canada currently, and I moved here 9 months ago, coming from Europe. I currently work here as the marketing lead of Core Geosystems, a technology company serving the mining and metals industry. Before, I lived and worked in Düsseldorf. I worked for E2E Consulting, a management and strategy consulting company that functions as a network of qualified energy experts and consulting. And I help them, let's say, shape the future of a sustainable energy and mobility sector across Europe. As you mentioned before, my career spans nearly 2 decades working for international companies like Caparol, the European market leader in home renovations and market leader in paint segment. I was their marketing manager in Europe for 3 countries in 10 years. One of my biggest accomplishments that I like to brag about, and that has a lot to do with technology, is my founding an e-commerce platform selling premium furniture, and also working as a marketing consultant for more than 5 years, I guess, helping clients from diverse sectors, including energy, utility, engineering, constructions, manufacturing, and more. As you mentioned, I have a PhD in marketing where I specialized in marketing strategies. And I enjoyed very much teaching marketing communications and public relations courses at 2 universities in Romania, my native country. Currently, I'm very excited to work for this technology company in Canada as we develop unique solutions for the mining industry. Spectre, our solution suite, is an integrated hardware and software solution offering core imagery, visual core logging software, and AI tools to automate various core logging tasks. I'm so proud that since introducing Spectre in 2018, the solution has been adopted by 5 of the world's 10 largest mining companies on multiple sites. And it empowers geologists to spend more time interpreting data and less time entering data. Passionately, personally, I am a passionate reader. From history to general literature to psychology, philosophy, marketing research. And I like to integrate what I read to my current profession in marketing as to develop and learn continuously and bring in new information and new insights, also from my experience and from the former roles and industry that I served.
That's amazing. The different, the multi-dimensional characters, and you have very strong academic background. You completed your PhD working in different companies, in different countries, in different positions. But I believe that you have now many knowledge and experience specifically related to the marketing, and that's great to share this experience with our audience today. But before that, I want to talk about your idea about digital transformation and the digital transformation role in the future marketing. Why do you think digital transformation plays a critical role in future marketing?
Um, I would start with the obvious. Digital transformation can help reduce cost and
Mhm.
also help companies access new markets more quickly. Of course, there are several benefits I can think of the top of my head, but first I would start with the fact that cost of digital marketing and advertising is more affordable.
Mhm.
Therefore, small businesses can easily implement it without going too deep into their pockets to manage advertising for their products and services. And as such, they are able to compete with large players who are generally less agile, even though they have large resources. I think another issue would be related to outcomes who are more quantitative. And now we can respond as marketers to that question, which half of the advertising spending is driving results? So collecting more data and using it to improve the marketing effort is a great outcome. I'm also focused on targeting, and I think digital transformation helps marketing to by enabling more precise targeting that is reaching your ideal consumer with more accuracy. I am
Mhm.
a big advocate of segmentation, targeting, positioning as a marketing strategy, and therefore building customer persona is what I start with in every company and in every industry. And these personas are built through different techniques, let's say, by inside information, market research, but mostly through collecting data and analytics. And over time, I think it's very important to tailor the message accordingly and build better and better personas for our marketing efforts. And what I would say that COVID brought into the picture with the digital transformation is the access to talent,
Mhm.
because now we are able uh, to access talent who lives abroad or who lives in different geographies or who comes from different environments, and definitely bringing people from diverse environments with different approaches, educations, and even languages. And we can talk about this language issue later in marketing and digital. This can help companies scale more rapidly and be more agile.
Perfect. Perfect. You mentioned many benefits of digital transformation and the role of this new technology or science in marketing. But you mentioned something about, for example, cost avoidance or cost reduction by in marketing. I would like to share something from my experience. Digital transformation normally can help us to move from sense and response zone to predict and act zone. And it's important for marketing because right now, in before Industry 4, we collect the data for marketing, for example, from different markets, from different clients, brokers, competitors. We analyze the data and then make some strategic decisions for planning for a company or organization. But now, using advanced analytics having AI approach and machine learning tools in Industry 4 potentially can help us to predict what will be happen in future, not just analyzing the past information and learning some lessons from what happened before. You can go forward with some knowledge from future. And I believe that it would be very a strong tool in our hand if you want to have the future marketing or the market of future. So it would be difference between companies right now. Which company can invest in this field? And definitely the companies can invest more and more in the field of digital transformation. They can capture the more benefit in the future, specifically for selling their product or reducing the cost of transportation or something like that. So let's to talk about the traditional industries. How can traditional industries change their strategic plans to reach the maximum benefit of future market?
Um, I can tell you what they should. I don't know what they do, because that's another conversation, but it's really simple. They should, by accelerating digitalization, because digital change brings new business models, brings new way of working. It enables this new way of working is enabled by technology, and so it is essential because it helps them become more competitive. At the same time, it involves the changes in the business model, in operation, and in cultures. And this is not very easy because traditional industries are so resistant to change. And they definitely don't want to change at this time, even if they realize that change is necessary. And this question makes me think about the theory of creative destruction, which suggests that those business cycles operate, under long waves of innovation. And we are living now in a wave of innovation dominated by digitalization, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things. And this really paints an entirely new picture in innovation as we know it. But for some traditional industries, I believe the information and communication technology can actually facilitate change internally. I have worked with quite a number of companies from different markets to notice that they are resistant to change, like I said. And like I mentioned before, I believe that they have no choice but to change. And some of them end up becoming early adopters of technology innovations. And at the same time, I believe that marketing innovations, or marketing at the center of the innovations, are some of the easiest things for them to accept and to adopt, because people are eager to participate more in discovering and utilizing new tools. And sometimes they don't realize that over time this will change their entire workflow, their operations, and their culture. And in my experience, digital marketing can trigger change internally, and that leads to change in strategy. I'm thinking now of a former client, for example, a furniture manufacturer operating in several European markets with a combined population of over 100 million. people. And in 2016, I was requested to help them stabilize sales, which were seasonal with summer and winter peaks. And we worked together for 4 years. And what I discovered was pretty common across the furniture manufacturing industry, which has a high degree of manual labor and a huge resistance to change, and especially to adopting technology in their process. They were able to manufacture high quality product, and they developed sales and distribution network in 5 countries and over 100 stores. However, the communications across the markets, and especially with key influencers as the sales assistant in the partner stores, was practically inexistent. And so they left the sales to chance, in my opinion. So practically every year, they invested millions in launching new collection, producing in stock, which cost a lot of money to do, and shipping to stores, relying to classic production. So we are talking about industry 1.0 here, or 2.0. They were there. And relying just to classic advertising, maybe some influencer marketing and word of mouth. And what we did was to implement an online marketing platform for them dedicated to physical distribution network, introducing production tracing, introducing monitoring, that connecting product offering to online order and tracking system. We integrated vendor communication, vendor feedback, individual product and sales support, sales training, and sales material. And at the same time, which is what we began with integrating the loyalty program, which allowed the sales assistants to gain official commission on sales and motivate them to sell. That in itself helped stabilize production and generated a constant increase in turnover over the course of the next 5 years. And of course, for me, it generated a lot of actionable market intelligence, product information that led to further strategy change and growth. So what I'm trying to say here with this integration of technology and of digital solutions into production and into sales and marketing, that this change was possible to go from manually tracking production to integrated a phone app to connect production to purchasing, logistics, sales, marketing, because the phone was already an extension of their hand. So they rejected technology, but they had a phone in their hand. So it was easy for them to accept it. And as you know, and it's widespread, that research connects increased smartphone user number with disruption in marketing tactics. This is demonstrated in practice because the use of communication technology is native nowadays, and therefore it can accelerate this way change even in the traditional, otherwise manual industries. And even without them realizing, they start using those nuggets of technology, and that generates an absolute change in the entire culture of the organization. And after they see results, they cannot go back to where they were.
Awesome. Yeah, as you know, I'm working in a traditional industry. I'm working in the mining industry for a long time, and I'm familiar with many points that you mentioned here, and I say I 100% agree. But as you may know, Vale, for example, as a mining company, is a pioneer in the field of digital transformation. And Vale has been, ranked as a 19 innovative company in the world. It means that we invested in this area many times ago, and we are working in that. One of the big area that we focus on, that is marketing, because marketing and using, for example, machine learning methodology or approach to predict the market in traditional companies can, potentially help us, to predict what will be happening in the market in, for example, China somewhere else, and then making internal plans, strategic plans to reach to the best market to sell the product in the future. So, but integration, for example, is important for us. And now we are thinking about how we can receive feedback from marketing and use this feedback in operation to have, more the better planning and etc. So let's to talk about the difference between companies. My next question is, how does digitalization make a difference between companies in the field of marketing? You mentioned a couple of examples, but I wanted just to ask this exact question.
While you were speaking about using artificial intelligence and machine learning in creating predictive models in marketing and strategies, I was thinking that 15 years ago or 10 years ago, let's say, we were taught in marketing, and still today I believe in this model, that you learn a lot by assessing your marketing environment. And it's very useful that you are very educated and understand the environment in terms of the social environment, the technological, the political environment, what let's say climate change impact has, and all those elements actually were or this is how I learned to integrate all that in creating a prediction of what will happen in the future on a certain market. For example, when the war in Ukraine was announced, or when with the outbreak of the war in Ukraine, my first thought was, well, this will impact the market of grain, because Ukraine is one of the largest producers of grain in the world. So the prices will go up and the gold will go up. So I was thinking already that it's a great time for mining. So this is what you do when you correlate your education and your information about the market. But my curiosity now is to bring in technology, so that we know more than what a human can conceive with our own let's say creativity and knowledge and background, because you have so many hours in a day to educate yourself. But technology can access the entire history of human existence to create those predictive models. And that just was just a thought when you were telling the story with the predictive models that you use in marketing, which I believe is amazing. But to go back to your story and just briefly answer that, I believe digitalization in marketing, as well as in many other disciplines, is a game changer, especially in improving efficiency. I am definitely focused as a professional on marketing strategy, and I'm passionate about that. But at the same time, in every company and in every role, I am fully aware that without operations and without efficient implementation of what you do, the strategy is just an idea on paper. So practically, I believe that digitalization is amazing in order to improve efficiency and productivity in marketing, in order to have better resource management. And we're talking about a shared resource across the company, in order to be more resilient and more agile using technology, in order to have a faster time to market, that is to quickly develop and deploy new products and launch them on the market. And I was talking before about segmentation and about creating customer profiles, which is something that I'm really passionate about. I believe that by understanding the customer's needs and wants and tailoring appropriate strategies and tactics, we are able to improve customer engagement. We are able, using data analytics and AI, we're able to create amazing customer profiles, which then can be used to provide customer experience across industries. And there are many ways in which we can do this. For example, I personally do not like chatbots, or I do not personally enjoy employing that. But at the same time, I started testing an AI assistant this week um, to test in which way we can use technology to manage our calendar and our interactions, and to make a better use of our time. And it's very interesting to bring this technology in our daily life, and to try to integrate that to create a more efficient environment for us as professionals, but also to make sure that we create great results for the company. So in a nutshell, I would say the difference that digitalization makes is in terms of, like I mentioned before, affordability, in terms of testing and analyzing the marketing strategies that we do, in a way of target the ideal buyers better, in a way of creating better revenues, in a way of increasing revenue opportunity. And mostly, I believe that technology gives small companies or startups the opportunity to compete with bigger brands. And I've used this every time, and it worked tremendously well.
I see. I see. So, um, Simona, the marketing word, it's a big word, and we know that you have many things under this umbrella. But I want to, ask a specific question. What is the most significant marketing area growth for using digital solutions? Because you talk about for example, the benefits of digital solution in marketing, etc., etc. But what is the exact and most significant marketing area that you think about the growth of using digital solutions?
The most popular area of digital marketing is social media, and this is where we have seen the biggest growth. And this is where we, like, if we look at statistics and numbers, this is where people spend most of their time. So this has the potential of the highest, I think, impact on our consumers. And I notice that many industrial clients are reluctant to use social media because they say we are B2B clients. Our clients are not on Facebook, they are not on TikTok, they are not on YouTube. And I tell them, let's try, because you would be surprised where your clients lie and where your customer base is, and what they look at, and how they want to be enchanted. And of all the places and of all the areas of growth, I would think social media has the highest potential from this perspective. And once, because it's underutilized in industry, and I believe because it's underutilized, it has a tremendous potential. And second, because it has still an incredible potential for growth. And I think we should leverage that every time we find it.
May I ask a personal question? Not a personal, a little person. You talk about your passion. You talk about the digitalization, many things. But what are some of the new digital technologies or innovations that you are particularly excited about?
Yeah, I mentioned before this integrating the technologies in our daily lives and trying to use more of it. And I have to bring up a bit of personal background here because I lived in Germany. And because I lived in Germany, I was more aware of the privacy breaches, of the preoccupation for dehumanization, of addiction. This is a huge preoccupation on the European markets. And I'm a firm believer in an ethical approach to marketing. I am aware that an increased use of AI, or a more open use of AI, because let's be very frank. We don't tell people, oh, we use AI to target you. We don't do that, but we do it and we enjoy doing it, and we know it produces great results. But at the same time, I believe we should use our values here. And I'm a firm believer in this ethical approach in marketing. So as much as I love and I love having results and I enjoy using digital innovations, I would start with this. I would start with an ethical approach. And going back to your question, what I read now and what I learn, and because I am in this industry where we use machine learning and we use AI to create models, and I'm very curious, and I look at the models that we create, and I look at the data that we have, and I know how it works. Definitely, I want to use more of that in marketing. So all applications of big data and machine learning and predictive analysis. And what I've been reading recently is how you can use predictive analysis to create better strategies in marketing, but also in business. And I'm definitely curious about. And also, because I've been working a lot with startups and with privately owned companies that generally have less resources than Valet or other giants to invest, they are more agile and they want to compete with giants, or they want the giants to be their clients. So we need to be on the same level by leveraging these technologies.
Beautiful, beautiful. You talk about some clients, or for example, the mining companies as your customer, and I know that you are working with the startups. But something that is important for companies to invest in any field, it's about it's money, and they are thinking about how they can make money more and more, and they are looking for this secure financial approach for their business. So in this environment, my question is that how we can encourage the company to invest in digital transformation for marketing, uh, because as an expert in marketing, you need to sell your ideas to the companies, to your clients, and you need to show that how digital transformation can be useful to encourage them to invest in this area. What benefits have you seen for companies encouraging them to invest in digital transformation for market?
Again, companies, especially in industrial marketing, they believe that only in retail customers are easily accessible through digital means. But actually, digitalization makes it easier for them to access the customers and generate high levels of engagement using digital means. And as a result, reaching the target market, connecting with contemporary and prospective customers becomes easier, becomes less expensive, and becomes faster, and reduces the sales cycle exponentially. And this is what I tell them. I tell them, for example, I just start with this basic web surfing. So I tell them, let's take a look at your website and let's research you online. Let's see if a potential client wants to find some services that you offer. Would they find you within seconds or not? And In industrial marketing search, including video and voice, alongside website and social media platforms, this is an open office for any business organization. This open office works 24 hours around the globe and provides access to crucial business information. For example, we are currently implementing it in Core, where we are aware that industrial customers want to learn as much as possible about a product online before reaching out to you for an offer. They research you and they want to learn as much as possible without interacting with you, without you selling it to them. They want to know about you. And therefore, the richer the content, the richer the digital interaction, the better chances exist that you make it on top of their list. And I've listened to a podcast recently which states that practically clients choose from the top 3 ideas that they have, or prospective suppliers that they already know. They might reach out to you, but if in their research you don't appear, they will never choose you. So what I want to make sure that my clients understand, or that my company understands, is that we need to be reachable and we need to be searchable. And voice search and video search is really one of the amazing tools that is so easy to implement and would make a huge difference in the marketing process in any industry.
Beautiful. Simona, we talk about the benefit of digital transformation in marketing, and we talk about how we can encourage companies to invest in this area. So everything we talk, it was just a positive side of digital transformation and the role of new technology in marketing. But in my last question, I want to ask you to talk about the challenges, because I believe that this way, it's not an easy way. So we are facing with many different types of barriers, challenges, problems, etc. What challenges are companies facing using digital solutions to improve their market?
From my experience, they are pretty similar across several industries and several geographies. So you find the same challenges in North America as I saw in Europe. And I think the first is a matter of size and resources. And this can be resources, both human and financial. Of course, digital tools and marketing automation costs are not easy to integrate by startups and by smaller companies. And at the same time, more startups than traditional companies are increasingly using digital technology to leverage their business model. So I think it's a matter of prioritizing if the resources that you invest at the beginning, it's important to invest them within marketing digitalization or not, within tools to leverage your presence digitally or not. So that would be the first. Then there is the resistance to change. Certain traditional industries are more resistant, and they don't easily adopt new technology. For example, it's a reality that conference participation has dropped historically by 70% in the past 10 years. And I'm not talking about COVID, I'm talking before COVID. And still, even in mining and in many industries, companies invest a huge budget to participating in conferences and to just go and traveling and meeting people and discussing. But from my perspective, if I look at it, it's not that efficient. And so choosing where to go and choosing where to direct your efforts it has a great impact. And companies have this resistance to change mental challenge to overcome, I believe. Another challenge is culture and language. And I've read that in Germany, I read the statistics that's really interesting, related to the use of the native language. For example, there are studies that assess that over 80% of the non-natives search in their native tongue when they use search. And that makes, for example, voice search difficult for Siri or Alexa. And I'm particularly interested in this video and voice search in industrial marketing, as we're currently developing video product presentations, and we use keywords. And so I'm curious how we can integrate this across multiple geographies, for example, because we are preoccupied to put our product in front of as many people and as many cultures as possible. So I think using this cultural approach in marketing and using it by means of technology it's a challenging thing, but it's a challenge that is worth addressing.
Perfect. You mentioned something that I didn't know, because as the AI program leader, I'm focusing on, for example, data system, communication, data storage, or something like that. And I know that we are facing with critical challenges in these areas, but you mentioned some new aspects. Amazing. Thank you so much, Simona. I think we are in the end of the interview, and at the end of this interview, once again, I need to take this opportunity to thank you so much for joining us today. And also thanks all the participants in the live session. The recorded version of this program will be available on the YouTube channel and other virtual pages on different social platforms. Thanks to all of you, and hope you have benefited from the discussed topics, and hope to see you again at the next events. Thank you so much, Simona. Thank you, and have a great day. Thank you.